market want, they should start by admitting students with the right job description. Not job description, but courses for job description. Because you see, when you speak about we lack skills, and it's the government that admits students, then I think we are not being fair to university students. Yeah.
So what's the problem?
Second
is it our education system or the entire system of government?
I think the education system. Plus few systems, departments like labor, they should work together to ensure that the right skills is being given to the students. Second, you spoke about a broken system. Allow me to speak about the national IDs. I'm coming from a community whereby we lack IDs because we are being subjected to vetting. You know, Turkana community in Kenya are being subjected to vetting, and that makes it difficult for many people to have IDs. We have many people of 80 years, of 50 years, even students, they are going to university, but they can't access the IDs. Because number one, the vetting process. The vetting process, you must chota kitu kidogo for those people who are in vetting committees to make you pass. Some of them pretend even they don't know you. My question is, how can they pretend they don't know you? And first,
to pass a job interview or to get
not a job interview. I've just added something. You spoke about broken system. About national IDs. Some of them, people don't have national IDs.
Right.
That's why I'm saying there is one community called Turkana community. They're being subjected to vetting. I don't know why, because Turkanas are parts of Kenya and they are being subjected to vetting. You will find out many people in Turkana community, they don't have that important document called national ID. Some of them, they even die without having an ID. Even ownership of property, it's becoming difficult in this country because of vetting. They're being subjected into vetting. So my question is to the government to at least make this vetting process a bit favorable to the people, to the Turkana people, because I know many people who cannot access that document. And even those who are going to university, some of them, they don't even access help, because if you don't have an ID, how can you access help? It's becoming difficult for Turkana community to access ID in this country. That's why when you speak about job opportunities, we just keep quiet, because if you can't access ID, will you even access that job abroad?
Yeah.
So the government to at least see what they can do about the vetting process and remove that vetting process, because Turkanas are part of Kenyans. Okay, and when the president said Tobong
which part
Lore,
of vetting are you talking about exactly?
Vetting of national ID.
Okay, getting the ID.
Yes.
But now that one, okay, I get your point, but then the local administration must now work hand in hand with the national government and make sure that the affected communities get that, that vital document.
Yes, very sure.
Right.
That's why, because if you cannot have an ID, how can you access that job abroad? It's become difficult. The Turkanas are being marginalized in this country.
All right, Director, let's play the story, which was compiled yesterday by our reporter, where Shadrach Modime was speaking about the job opportunities and the skills that we have in the country. Press play.
In a bid to empower Kenyans harness their digital competencies, the government has rolled out a digital skills inventory which will pave the way for a vibrant and dynamic workforce. Through the platform, young people can exhibit their skills, opening doors to a myriad of professional prospects and technological advancements.
All unemployed persons are required to register their skills data on the National Skills Inventory. In this regard, the State Department for Internal Security and National Administration shall play a critical role in mobilizing the youth to register their skills on the system.
The Labour Principal Secretary says the government will sign a bilateral agreement with Germany to foster collaboration in diverse areas such as trade, technology, agriculture and education.
Only that, on matters labor migration, owing to the fact that there are job opportunities that are opening up abroad, particularly in the Western European countries and also the Gulf countries, some countries within the Middle East, it is critical for us to do a survey concerning the skills that we have so that going forward we will ensure a smooth labor migration to these destination countries.
That is what he said yesterday. Now, let me ask you, according to the PS, around 250,000 job opportunities are actually available in Germany alone, in Europe. But Kenyans do not have the required skills. Naftali, does that worry you?
Yeah, it is true. And I think Kenyans lack skills for job market in abroad, not because they do not have identification IDs. The study is very crystal clear that they lack skills, not another document, but this expertise or education. In his own words, and you will allow me to quote the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Full stop and add quote. Now, what the people of Kenya need is that awareness that there are these skills. I may inform the people of Kenya that we have the International College of Peace Studies. The International College of Peace Studies has embarked on research and professionalism through the provost, His Eminence Dr. Kennedy Waningu. If you go to the International College of Peace Studies, number one, you get an opportunity to study humanitarian diplomacy. Number two, etiquette and protocol. Number three, humanitarian diplomatic chaplaincy. These are the basic skills that will get you the job market internationally.
But coming back home and just having it local, where do we get it wrong as Kenyans? Because remember, just last year, hundreds of thousands of students graduated from different institutions in the country, but there are no job opportunities. So where's the missing gap?
What I'm saying is this, that our 844 system had some flaws, and we have accepted it. This is why we have now ameliorated our system now to agree with the CBC, so that we can now embark on specialization. Because when you study, there is this thing called professional certification, that you need a professional skill. That is what I'm saying, that the people of Kenya have gone to do some diplomas and degrees, but they do not have those professional, they are called continuous professional development courses.
So where's the problem? Are we theory-oriented or practical-oriented? You're going to answer that, but Lorere, let me also get your point. Are we so much into theory, or are we so much into the practical bit of education?
You know, the 844 system is more of theory than the practical. Yeah, you see the practical one is this CBC, whereby we see students are being nurtured practically. But for 844, it was more of history, and you see the courses. The government through education department and other related departments should now start planning ahead and see what does the job market abroad need, and what are we providing as universities as education to our students. Yeah, the moment you start preparing and plan for that job opportunity, then we will have many students graduating to those courses that is being needed outside the country. But when you allow people to just enter university, just take courses they want, we don't know what the job market abroad needs. We don't know what is being needed in Europe. We don't know in America. So it's the government to regulate and start planning for our students to at least get jobs.
Yeah. I'm still asking the same question. When you hear the PS saying that 250,000 opportunities are available in Germany, but we don't have the required skills. So what about back home? Germany have opportunities for us. What about back home? Lorere?
Back home, we don't have opportunities. And you know the employment system of Kenya, who do you know? So you find out even those who are being employed are not employed to the courses they studied in university. You find out someone is working in a certain department but doesn't have those skills. It becomes difficult to operate that way. So they should consider if the job description needs someone with this qualification, then the person should be employed according to that qualification. You see, county government jobs, you don't have that qualification and you end up working in that department. It becomes hard and you deny people opportunity who have the right qualification. Thank you.
All right. Naftali, again, I'm still on this. When you look at the opportunities available abroad and you come back home, that's a worrying trend. In Germany, they need 250,000. They don't have skills. Yes. What about back home then? Do we have... That puts us in a very awkward situation as a country.
Mr. Law, let us look at these two words. We have culture and we have civilization.
Culture and civilization?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are two distinct words. Culture means the art in manners that are favored by a particular social group. And all of us, or almost 43 communities, have got our own arts and manners favored by ourselves. Number two, we have civilization. Civilization is a society in an advanced state of social development. When you look at some of the ingredients which form the Republic of Kenya, the last structure is found under culture, Article 11. Sub-Article 2. This constitution recognizes culture as the foundation of the nation and as the cumulative civilization of the Kenyan people and the nation, full stop. What do we mean by cumulative civilization? When you look at the Oxford Dictionary, cumulative means increasing by successive additions. It means then we are not supposed to dwell on our own upbringings. We need to accommodate other outside what? Society, arts and manners, so that we can fit to the global world. This is why I'm saying that for us to go forward and get ourselves to work together with the people outside Kenya, then we have to deal with some basics in regard to our education system. And these are the continuous professional development courses, like now humanitarian diplomacy. You cannot have diplomacy, or you cannot go to German or USA without etiquette and protocol. Because you have to learn those rules governing socially accepted behavior. There is a way some other people in the world eat food. There is a way they greet one another. This is what you need to learn. How do the Americans greet one another? How do the Chinese greet one another? So that you can be able to sit down with them and put down your skills and expertise and do business with them. That is why I'm imploring the people of Kenya that let us do research on what are the institutions fit for us, disposed or eagerly disposed, to enable us to reach out to the global world, because we need to have ourselves in harmony with the world, so that we can implement the Sustainable Development Goals by the United Nations. Because our constitution and our laws have been inclined with the international law and international humanitarian law, whereby we cannot get there unless we get those skills. And I have said that we have a college in Kenya called the International College of Peace Studies. It has embarked on professional ethics, on research in etiquette and protocol, in humanitarian diplomacy. Let the people of Kenya find their way and get these skills so that they can have those job market abroad. There is no shortcut.
All right. Lorraine, when you go out there, I mean, this is now mostly into the marginalized communities. You talked about Turkanas, not able to get IDs. And you also gave an example. If they are not able to get IDs, what about job opportunities? What is the real situation out there?
The real situation is that the Turkana community and the Somali community are the one who are being subjected to vetting in this country. First, you subject a Turkana community to vetting for national IDs. Why vet them and they're from Kenya, and the only place whereby we border with other countries is Karamoja of Uganda and Nyangatom of Ethiopia and Geo of Southern Sudan. A Turkana in Laikipia or Samburu County is being subject to vetting. Where are we bordering those countries that maybe they're being doubted they are not from Kenya? So it becomes hard for many Turkanas to access identity cards. And it has made everything difficult, even accessing job opportunities, education opportunities, property ownership. It becomes hard for Turkana community to access those important documents in this country. So my plea is the government of Kenya to at least see how they can do about that vetting. It's not bad to do vetting, but they should make the process very environmental to the people, to the Turkana people living in other counties, because Turkanas are living in almost 13 counties in this country. So it becomes hard for them to get identity cards. I know many people who don't, until now, who don't have identity cards. They are living as quotas. Then you ask yourself, Turkanas are the most poorest in this country. How will you not be poor if you are being marginalized to the process that you cannot even access that important document? That is your number one richness in this country. If you have an ID, you can go anywhere, you can do anything in this country. But if you don't have an ID and you are born here, you studied in this country, then where is the gap between?
All right, let's take a break. When you come back, we are coming to circle back and finalize this discussion. Stay with us. In studio, I have Gabriela Rorere, who is a youth leader, Upia Party, and of course, Naftali Nyamongo. Daktari, I almost forget that, Daktari. Don't sue me.
Do not worry.
Don't sue me. Naftali Nyamongo also joining me. They're all political analysts. So today we are talking about the issue of job opportunities versus the skill set that we have in Kenya. But Naftali, let me ask you, when you look at the entire government system, the government gave that order, the direction that after the cabinet meeting, the directive that all government, the Ministry of Labor, to have an inventory. So an inventory is already here. How is it going to change the entire structure and system to make sure that everybody, if not all, has a job?
The reason why these programs are being put forward by the government is for the people of Kenya to access social security. There are Kenyans who are not able to provide for themselves and their dependents. So when you see an inventory from the Ministry of Labor, it means now the CS who has responsibility to do this is acting in conformity with the provisions of the Constitution, because the government ought to have that data: who is employed, who is not employed, gender, male and female, youth, minorities and marginalized groups. and also persons with disabilities. This data, this information is very important for any government to strategize and program for its people. So when you look at accountability, transparency, integrity, sustainable development, then all these aspects have been instituted for us to have a seamless operation as far as that coordination of government operations are concerned.
All right, we need to leave now. Gabriela, way forward for the government to make sure that everybody gets an equal opportunity to have a job. Your final word.
You know, 50% of population in Kenya are youth, and most of them, they are unemployed. So you see, we are nurturing a generation that in future there will be just percentage. The percentage will end up being poor and end up being drug addicts because they cannot access jobs. So it's the government is doing very well, because when you start mapping out those who have papers, who have skills, and start looking for jobs, it means you start nurturing a generation that at least they will start depending on themselves and provide on themselves. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay. Gabriela Lorere, thank you so much. She is a youth leader, national youth leader, Upia Party, and Naftali Nyamongo, Daktari Naftali Nyamongo, who is also an analyst and certified
professional mediator.
Professional mediator. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we are crossing over to Zinga. That is Rashid Mumkondo having a discussion with Josephine Kinyuti, who is a board director, Tourism Regulatory Authority. Today, we are talking about matters tourism in Kenya. Have you embraced local tourism? Domestic, have you? All right, Rashid Mumkondo will be taking that direction shortly. My name is Victor Lo. Let's have a good morning and stay with us. Bye-bye.